All right, we are now live. I'm just going to invite. There we go. Invited. Is she going to join? Yes.
Hello.
Yes. It worked.
Yay. Straight away.
we we are live.
Oh, there you go.
How are you
Yep.
today?
Yeah, good. When I connected, sorry, I made you go a bit funny. I'm
All good.
good.
All good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear good. We're here to talk about maths.
I know. I can't believe you've got me into maths this year. I haven't watched it for a few years.
I was just looking for an excuse to watch maths, and I'm like, hey, we can link it to astrology.
Exactly. The little bait that I needed. Go watch maths. We can link it to astrology.
Yeah, exactly right. No, I'm so pumped because, so tell everyone who you are first, and then we'll go into the other stuff.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm an astrologer and I have a page, Goddess in the Suit, and I just love everything to do with astrology. And so, but also human psyche and human behavior. And so it actually does fit really well with all of those interests.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And for
Yeah. And
anyone who
then,
don't know me,
what's
I'm
that?
Mahela. I said, for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Mahela, and I feel like I'm coming out of the closet because not many people know that I like astrology because the page is the Natural Hub podcast. So, hello, welcome.
Congratulations.
I'm out of the closet now.
Officially.
um,
And a numerologist.
yeah,
Hey?
yes, and I'm a numerologist also. Absolutely love numerology. Has a lot to do with astrology also. And Briley's so good at astrology, absolutely amazing. And we started having a conversation about MAFS astrology, and I was like, oh my God, we need to hit a record button.
We had to stop the conversation. No more conversing about it so that we could save it for now.
Literally, I've been like holding back. I'm like holding back from messaging you, holding back from calling you and talking to you, and being like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And then, of course, the final sign, the final piece of the puzzle when Jessie says that he's not into astrology girls. And that was the first bit that I watched, and you were watching too. It was literally the first bit that I'd watched this season. And I was like, huh? Astrology girls? Ick. What? Huh? And then gave his birth details. Yay.
Thank you. I know. How awesome was that? When he said that, he's like, I don't like astrology girls. Or when the girl goes, when was your, like, your birthday? I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. I'm like, when is your birthday? What star sign are you?
And then he gives it out like tentatively, and then of course, their details are everywhere on with 9 websites, so we could find out his age, and then we got his date of birth, but we don't know the time, we don't know the location, and that's okay. We can still work out some really cool stuff with just the birthday. And so
Yeah.
the person who hates astrology the most and is totally turned off by this is the one that we have all the information about.
I know. Like, totally. One of the first people that were like, oh my God, I know exactly why you are the way you are.
Exactly, exactly. Just that, I think I
I
sent you
love
that meme
that.
the other day that said something like me and my best friend looking at charts and going, "Oh, that's why they're that way."
I know, right? So be careful, anyone that's listening or watching. If we know your birthday, we know everything about you. No, I'm joking.
No, we don't.
No,
It
we
is
don't. No, we
amazing
don't.
though. It is amazing though, because I was thinking about this today and before we came on, that so many people just think sun sign compatibility, is that going to work? And there's so, as you know, there's so many layers to astrology, and there's so many individual parts that you can't say one sun sign to another are incompatible just based on their sun.
When you
It's just,
said sun sign, can you explain to people who don't know about astrology what that even means?
yeah, good one. So the sun sign is when you were born. When you're born, where was the sun placed in the sky? Which why have I gone blank in trying to explain this? Which zodiac sign was your sun in at the time that you were born? And so
And that's the most focus on at the moment, isn't it?
completely. And it look, it's great. It's getting interest in astrology. Love that. It's where you want to start. It's the basics. It's what you're growing into. It's how you show up and shine in the world. So it is something that people see within you pretty quickly because you're emanating that energy always. But it's also not the only thing. And so that's where there's so many layers to astrology. Yeah. And so, you know, I did notice when Jessie said that Claire was saying, like she kind of went, oh, and whether it was edited, you know, this show's edited like you wouldn't believe.
100%.
But when she was like, Cancer, and she was like, it was like I could tell, well, potentially what was going on in her mind was, okay, I'm a Sagittarius, he's a Cancer. Generally compatibility, like how's that going to work? But that's not the only thing.
Yeah. But we have all the sun signs for all of the MAFS contestants. We have them all.
Yes, we just don't have birth dates. So we had the sun because
so
the shows put out their sun because people are obviously interested in that, which is great. So that was a win.
I know. So we have all of their star signs.
Yeah, if anyone knows any MAFS contestants, participants, please try and find out their birthday for us.
Yeah, give us their birthday, give us their location, as much information as possible so we can dig deep into who they are and why they are. It'll make it just a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I loved when you said, oh, we could ask them, like, you know, oh, we noticed your birthday's this, what time is it? And I'm like, oh, we're getting a little stalkerish, but someone might know them.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit stalkerish, but that's totally fine. I mean, it's all for entertainment, like what they're doing, exactly what we're doing. This is all for entertainment. We're not here to put any participant down, raise any of them up. We're not here to make anyone feel good or bad. We're just here to talk a little bit of astrology and love.
Exactly, and laugh away. So
I
was thinking, so the sun in Cancer, which is Jessie. And so why Claire might have thought, oh, I'm a Sagittarius, so the sun in Sagittarius is a bit funny. I thought I could quickly explain why that is.
Yeah, let's go into it. What was in her mind?
You've probably got lots of thoughts about this too.
Yeah, share.
So from an astrology point of view, the signs, it's all about angles, and it all works around looking at how far away one sign is to another sign and how those planets interact with one another. And so Cancer and Sagittarius is what we call, I won't get too technical, but a quincunx. And generally that means the energy just doesn't go together well. It just, you need to be innovative to work out how it fits.
I like that. You need to be innovative.
Yeah, exactly. And this is interesting because you and I have a quincunx in our charts together, and we're friends, but we've worked out clearly how to be innovative, maybe through astrology and numerology.
No, we actually don't like each other.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so you have to be innovative to make those energies work together. So potentially in her head, she's read something or looked into it and gone, Sagittarius, Cancer, they don't work. Yeah, but they can.
Yeah, I love that. So Sag and Cancer, are you saying the way it's in the chart, because there's like 12 signs, the way they're positioned doesn't give off the best energy? It's kind of like a bit of like just a bit of like yuckiness, kind of, is it?
It's like a misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah, and we saw that already happen between them two. Like the whole thing is misunderstanding.
Yeah, exactly. He's not getting what she's putting out, and she's not getting what he's putting out, and it's just like they're on their own tracks, and the tracks aren't meeting.
And that's why he shushed her.
Yeah. What was that?
That's why he shushed her, because he didn't understand her language, or maybe what she was talking about, or it was too much for him, or something along those lines.
Exactly. And so if you think about Cancer and Sagittarius energies, from what you know, what would make them kind of be not fit well?
Yeah, well, so this is just so broad, but cancers are more the emotional inside, the crab that just doesn't really want to deal with things, kind of goes internal when it's got issues. Where Sag is like, yeah, I'm out there, I want to explore, I want to learn, I want to know your mind, I want to teach you things, I want to do all these things. And the Cancer's like, just leave me alone, like I just want to be my crab. And that was evident. That was evident with him when he was like, can she just give me some space, or can she just be quiet? And she was out there, being herself, and he's like, whoa, 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 don't come into my shell.
Exactly, exactly. And also Sagittarius is like really quick to move attention. So
Ah,
when because I've got lots of Sag in my chart, and when I kind of got it explained to me about like you just look to the next thing and the next thing, the next shiny object, my partner actually told me about, you know that movie, oh you probably don't because you don't watch movies much, but Up. Have you seen the movie Up? I haven't.
is that the one with the balloon?
Yeah, the
It holds the
balloon.
thing, and there's a balloon or something. It's like a cartoon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a
I've probably just
cartoon.
seen the
Like
front cover of it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. There's a dog in there that looks up and goes squirrel and like moves to the next thing, and then squirrel and then moves to the next thing. And so that's that Sagittarius energy sometimes, especially when they're excited, they just keep moving to the next, to the next, to the next. And that's what she was
So she would have
doing.
had
That's what Claire was doing.
conversations. Yeah. She was going from one
Exactly.
conversation to the other. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? What's this? What's that? And it was just too much for him. He couldn't deal, could he?
Yeah, exactly. He needed that comfort. And then the other thing about Cancer, I thought, was like, Cancer has to feel like home. And you know how he's really picky, and everyone's on to Jessie because he's picky and he's talking about the ick, and he seems really insensitive, I guess it comes across. And when you
Yeah.
know their astrology and you look at it, it's like he just wants things to feel like home instantly. And a
Yeah.
Sagittarius sun isn't going to feel like home instantly. And
Yeah.
so
And
when
going
you
away on a
realize
honeymoon, that's
that,
not like home for him too. There's so many new things happening for him.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, right. I was a child in a house of a Cancer and Sag adult relationship. It was completely about misunderstanding. It wasn't harmonious being around them. And that's what we're seeing play out just from sun signs. And as I said, compatibility on sun signs alone doesn't work, but we're seeing these play out pretty quickly in this dynamic.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy patterns. And we've got Franca saying, haha, I love this, ladies. I'm so glad you like it. Share it. Like you can send it. There's like a little button at the front, at the bottom. Click that and share it to your mates, right? The more we get this out, the more we can actually talk about it more, and more people can listen. We can talk about more than just Jessie and cancers, right?
But it's really good this week because Jessie is huge. Like, I can't open up a window on my desktop without seeing Jessie's face. Like, it's everywhere at the moment.
Maybe we should invite him to watch this.
Can I swear on this?
You can do whatever you like. But you know what? Actually, with being a Cancer, and I know, like you said, we're going to keep saying this, it's just a sun sign. It doesn't say everything. But I kind of just want to give him a hug. And I just kind of want to give him a hug and say, it's okay. You are safe. You're secure, no matter that you're in an uncomfortable situation, that you're outside of home, you're outside of people, close people around you. Because like you said, that's what cancers want and need. They want to be at home. They want to be around people that they know. And he's doing everything opposite to that. So good on him in a way, right?
Exactly. He must have other placements that are kind of stretching that out for him, because you wouldn't go on this
Yeah.
show otherwise. So there's this
Mm.
boldness that comes along with his sun, and like with his Cancer energy, there's a boldness that's put him into these situations. But what he's trying to get people to do is make him feel comfortable and at home straight away. And we've got his chart. It's not just his sun, we're pretty sure. I know his Venus would be in Cancer because that wouldn't move quickly and it's not going to move out of there. And also he's got a North Node. Sorry, I can explain. It's Venus, the planet, in Cancer as well at the time that he was born. And then a North Node.
Venus is in Cancer.
Yeah, his Venus is in Cancer.
His Venus, so he's a Sun Cancer and his Venus is in Cancer.
And they're together. They're next to each other. So his love language is home and comfort and security and yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's not at home. He's not at home. So you're saying, like, for people, most people that are probably listening have never, or maybe have seen an astrology chart. So it's a circle, yes, and it's got 12 houses, and his sun sign, we don't know what house it is because we don't know exactly what time he was born. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we won't know his houses because we don't know his rising sign, which starts the chart.
Okay. But you do know that his Venus is in his Cancer, which is his sun sign.
Yeah, and we
and what does
definitely
that
know
mean?
his Venus is next to, what we call conjunct, but next to his sun. And so...
Yeah, and what does that mean?
Yeah. This is a really interesting pairing because this is like you wear your heart on your sleeve, that you can't hide things because you're...
And he can't. He can't.
He can't. His face.
He didn't. We know exactly what he was thinking or feeling at any given time when it was filmed, right?
Completely. This combination is a really beautiful combination for musical talent, and I think I didn't quite catch the whole part of his episode when he got married, but he does, is it metal music, or he does something musical as well?
Yeah, he does. He does play music. He does. If anyone knows, chuck it in the comments.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was. Tell us what we're missing. But I'm pretty sure he's musical. Oh look, he got tagged. There you go. He got tagged.
Your favourite topic.
Come here and let's give us a hug.
Well, imagine that ick, that he'd be like, this is icky. There's astrology girls talking about
that I don't even know about. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, so...
Yeah. So the other thing I noticed in his chart was that he has another point that basically is it's called the South Node. So the North Node's in Capricorn for him and the South Node's in Cancer as well. And so there's a lot in Cancer basically. And the South Node represents what you need to kind of release. It's your gifts that you come in with that you're already so tightly connected with that you need to kind of let go of and start growing in a different direction. So he needs to let go of this. I need to feel safe in my family. I need to feel that everybody needs to do everything for me in order to feel comfortable emotionally, and they need to be available to me and know how my emotions are changing and know what I need when I need it, into being more independent and more focused on self and, what is he bringing out into the world. So that's an interesting dynamic too.
That's a huge lesson, right? That's a huge thing to let go of or learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd be interested, I didn't listen to his family situation or whether they were on board or what his family unit was. Did you see anything about that?
I don't recall, but my memory is probably not the best. So if anyone does know, let us know in the comments. There wasn't that much information that I can that's stuck in my head about his family. I just remember him playing music and being out there, right? Which is quite interesting because most Cancers aren't really, well, they are out there, but they're kind of like the mother, aren't they? Kind of like the people that go around, give people hugs, make people feel comfortable with food, with love, and all those things, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So if he didn't have the South Node there, I'm wondering if he would be more nurturing than what he is presenting at the moment. So either he's scared and he's going into his shell and he doesn't want anything to do with anything, or because his South Node's there, he's expecting everyone else to nurture his emotions rather than him being the nurturer, rather than him being the one that is coming out. And
yeah, maybe he wants Claire to nurture his emotions and make Claire be quiet and comforting and make him food. I don't know. And then he'll feel at home. Maybe if she just cooked him a meal.
Yeah, his Venus would probably like that. I don't know if he deserves a meal right now, but anyway.
We don't know if he deserves a meal right now. Maybe just takeaway. She can get him some takeaway food. Not actually cook it for him.
But
that's interesting because, yeah, tell me.
Sorry. I was just going to say, what layers on this is the numerology that you briefly talked about yesterday when we had to cut our conversation so we didn't keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And how that lines up with
astrology and numerology. Yeah. I love that. So astrology and numerology, they work hand in hand, right? Numerology is like numbers. Most people have heard about maybe like their life path or things like that. It's you just add up your birth date, the day you're born, the month and the year, you add it up and you come to a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 and 22, right? That's all it has to add up to. And according to that, it kind of shows you what you're here to learn, what you're here to learn about. I'll probably keep talking about this. But essentially, that's a nice little summary of numerology is. So we have Jessie's numerology. We have it, Riley. We have his numerology. I know, we have his numerology. Okay, so his numerology is, so he was, as everyone knows, and as he told everyone, 2nd of July, 1992, right? So you add up all those numbers and it comes up to 30. So his life path number is a 3, okay? And this showed so much, right? It's kind of contradiction of what a Cancer is, but a 3 is all about communication, right? Either they don't communicate or they communicate too much, right? Either their lesson is to be quiet and listen, or their lesson is to learn to communicate and be more confident. There's the two ends, right? And it's also about being creative, right? He's so creative. He's so bold, right? That's what a 3 is. They're creative with what they wear. They're creative with their job. They're creative with everything. But they're also love being center of attention. They love it. And you could see it, right?
Yeah, totally. Completely.
Yeah, he loves being the center of attention. And listen to this, right? When a 3 is not center of attention, they chuck a tantrum. What did he do?
Yeah, totally. Wow, that's really interesting.
Didn't he chuck a tantrum because Claire took over the whole spotlight?
Exactly. And continued to, I guess. Continued to. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just an overall. There's so many numbers.
Cancer, like, how does that?
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah, good question. Because a Cancer, like we were kind of talking about, this is just so broad. It's kind of like likes to be at home in its shell and so forth, right? A 3 wants to go out there and party, wants to go to the parties, doesn't want to be at home. They want to go to the party and be the center of attention of that party, even be the MC at that party or host the party or be a musician at the party, right? So that's where it's kind of a contradiction. He's trying to figure out, he's like, I want to be on TV, I want to be out there, but at the same time, I kind of want to be at home and feel my soul. I don't know what I'm doing. So can you imagine in his head, he's like going like this, right? It's all like awkward for him, right?
Yeah, and then it comes out straight away. It's like, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm going to express that. And it's your fault.
Yeah, the expression, the communication. And what you'll notice is, usually with 3s, whatever is on their mind, they'll just say it.
Okay.
Yeah, right? And if they don't say it, they get so much like built up, like, oh, I just need to have verbal diarrhea. And then Claire will be like, where did this come from? You didn't talk to me for 2 days. And it's like, bleh. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens, right?
Yeah, completely. That's fascinating. Well, see, now
that's kind of the numerology.
Claire's details.
Yeah, we want to know Claire's details. Well, we don't know her birthday, but we know that she was born, we think she's born in 1991. And Sun Sagittarius. So looking at the numerology, she's got the 99 and a 11, right? Which is really amazing. The 11 means that she will. So he doesn't have the 11. He's only got the 1-1. And where I'm getting this from is the 2nd of July, 1992. There's only 1-1. And she was born 1991. She's got 2 1s, right? So he's got 1-1. She's got 2 1s, which means he's going to be stubborn, but she's going to see both sides to an argument.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So she won't always make it about herself. She'll also make it about him. Whereas he'll make it about himself.
Yeah, totally. And
so the one that kind of has to give, the
little snippet, I think it was, maybe it's for tonight, but it was talking about like, she keeps asking him, or what is it that you're annoyed about by me, or something like that. And God, my heart breaks when she asked that question, because I just think like we just, I can feel it in my heart. It's just like she's looking for that, you know, tell me, I'm brave enough to hear her. What is annoying you about me? But also she's taking that on herself of like, it's not his problem, it's her problem. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good point that you're saying right there. But that's what you said earlier. Maybe that's what he wants. Someone to nurture him. Ro just commented saying she said in their vows that she will always make sure his belly's full, so she's nurturing. Oh, that's cute. That's really I wonder what she's going to cook. Might make him happy, I'm telling you. She just needs to make him a meal.
Yeah, it could. Make him a meal, and also she needs to probably, we don't know where her emotional kind of centers of her chart are, but I feel like she needs to give him the space to understand his emotions, because with Cancer or with somebody who's really emotional, the energy needs to go, if you think about how energy flows, before they decide on something or communicate, the energy needs to go from up here in our visual kind of zone all the way into their gut for a feeling-based, like kinesthetic, body-based decision or unpacking, and then come all the way back up to speak it, right? So that the time it takes for somebody who's feeling based, it's a lot harder to express yourself. And so what he's doing, he's getting annoyed. He's, you know, clearly ticked off and annoyed at things, because he's either not going into the depth of his feelings and understanding what's going on, or he doesn't have the time to do that.
That's such a good point that you just said there. So maybe he just needs a bit of, like you said, space and time, and then he'll be able to pop up and communicate the 3 that he needs to communicate what he's feeling. So he needs to just communicate what he's feeling, and she needs to listen.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And you know,
look at us. Look, we should just be on the couch and be like, while those three, I don't even know their names, the people that host it, we'll just be like, all right, well, yeah, the experts. Hello, experts. We are the experts. No, I'm joking. We should just be on the side and be like, well, yeah, exactly. We clearly know. Cancer, Sun, Sagittarius, Briley. Is it going to work?
Oh, see, I can't answer that on sun signs alone. I think my whole career is over if I do that.
I know. Death.
Not credible anymore. All the other astrologers are going, oh my God, compatibility. No, I'm kidding. I think they just have to work harder at it. And like what Rose said earlier, there's misunderstandings, and I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, you've seen a couple of episodes. Do you really think this is going to work unless they're going to learn how to compromise?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work?
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. But we do want to know a little bit more about dates and birthdays. So again, a call out. If anyone knows anyone's birth dates, where they were born, what time they were born. If you're the doctor or the nurse that worked there when they were born, let us know.
Calling it in. Give us the information. It would be really cool to do that. So what we can't tell when we don't have times, and when we don't have exact times, is, as we talked about before, is the houses, and that's where the planets interact with the area of life, basically. So what area of life is being activated through the planets that are sitting in those different signs. The other thing that we don't know is their rising sign, and that's how they show up to somebody. So that's how they first appear. And so, you know, his life path was Jessie's life path. I know we're focusing on Jessie, but that's the information we've got. The life path was a 3, like you said, which was quite extravagant, can be out there with how they want to be center of attention. You know, their rising could be a very external sign, one that wants to shine and wants to be out there and to be seen. Or
what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Briley?
Well, obviously that's got Leo vibes, and he does have the long hair.
I like you said, long hair. Do all Leos have long hair, Briley? Or
No.
Leo risings?
Leo, so apparently you are meant to look like your rising sign. So you're meant to have the physical characteristics of your rising sign. I'm not sure on this. I'm 50-50, but what I have noticed is a lot of people I know who are Leo risings, maybe some people that I'm looking at right now, have very luscious, long hair, you know, quite full hair. It doesn't necessarily need to be long, but it's this luscious, it's the mane of the Leo. So I wonder, otherwise maybe Gemini, that he's got that.
I was thinking Gemini, honestly. I was thinking about it and I was like, I think he's a Gemini rising. It'd be interesting to know because Geminis love to talk. They love to talk. He talks.
They're very energetic.
What else are Geminis like? Yeah.
They're very energetic and very out there, and they God no, Gemini. Someone's laughing.
Are we hitting someone's nerve, are we?
Yeah.
We apologize.
Sorry. Tell us why. Geminis are very intellectual, and they're always wanting to learn more and hear more, and they're curious and they're asking a lot of questions, which I don't really see him doing. But again, this could be because he's got so much in Cancer, he's not feeling comfortable to open up and express himself. And
yeah, feeling comfortable. He's not feeling. I like that. It's a huge Cancer thing. He's not feeling comfortable. When he feels comfortable, he might be blah, 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 and tell the whole life story.
Exactly. And Geminis can be two ways. So they can there can be two sides of Gemini. So that's where the twin analogy comes into play.
The smart and the smart side, right?
Yeah, smart and smarter.
That's it. There's only two sides of Gemini, smart and smarter.
Exactly. But they're usually the one that are so energetic, and they're really holding the room. They're the bubbly one. They're running around to everybody and talking to everybody. And because they're
We've got comments here saying your best friend is a Gemini. This is Franca. Come on, Mish, you know, Gemini as well. You're feeding my ego now. Yes, I am, Franca. I'm feeding your ego. You are energetic. You are smart. You're everything a Gemini is.
I love this. I love that.
I love it. Yeah, what were you saying else about Geminis?
I just think Gemini, so I think a lot of signs are misunderstood. And I think a lot of people will talk and pick up the lower octave of, so in every sign we have a low octave and a higher octave. And, you know, you can express any way along that layer of energy. And the lower octave gets concentrated a lot, I guess, with Geminis in, you know, telling white lies or making up stories or feeling that I see it as like you just paint in the picture, you just paint in the story a little bit more. You're just making it more exciting.
Yeah. I like that. It's kind of like talking, but with one of those microphones. It's like, you know, those big what are they called? Those that's what a Gemini is. Yeah. A megaphone.
Exactly. Make it bigger.
I love that.
Make it bigger. Mm.
So we're kind of thinking Leo. Oh, you go on about the higher.
The higher octaves of Gemini is very much, they're so intellectual. They're wanting to learn and they're wanting to understand your perspective, and they don't get stuck in their own idea. So they're not like, this is what I believe and you can't change it. They're like, you know, someone says the sky's blue and they're like, well, what do you think? And someone else says it's purple and they're like, oh yeah, I do see that it's kind of purple. And then someone else says, oh, well, I saw green in the clouds the other day, and they're like, oh, it could be green. So they're taking in a lot of information, deciding. Curious.
Yeah, I love that. So we're kind of thinking he may be Gemini or Leo rising. Maybe
Maybe
even something else.
Us. Could be Scorpio rising.
I don't think he would be an earth sign rising. I don't know. I don't think he would be an earth sign rising. More like air.
No.
Or fire. Even with astrology, the awesome thing is the way people look, right? If they're like earth, fire, water, air, you can kind of put it together. I don't think he's earth because he's a bit more skinnier, he's not built. That's more the earth signs, like Harrison, right? He's an earth sign.
Definitely.
And you can see that built. You can see that built, right? I just want to talk about Capricorns, not Harrison, but hey.
No, exactly. You want me to talk about Capricorns. And Sandy?
No, but I'm saying, yeah, exactly. So with the star Capricorns, with the star signs, you can kind of see like their physical features too, can't you, Briley?
Yeah, you're meant to be able to see that energy through the body of which element is the most prevalent, I guess. And so
I like that energy through the body.
Because he was getting quite red in the face a lot. And so that could be a fire rising sign. Could be a lot of fire.
I like that. I like that you're noticing these things. And this is the awesome thing about astrology. You could notice so many little things. Like even you saying a little bit of heat in the cheeks could be fire sign.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Good is that?
Yeah.
And then anyone who loves food on MAFS has to be Taurus, right?
Has to be. Has to be. No other option.
Taurus or Libra, right? They love their food.
Exactly.
We've got a few Tauruses and Libras. We've got, who do we have? We've got Dan, who's a Libra.
Yes, Dan with Sandy, yeah.
Yeah, we have Tani, how do you say her name?
Yeah, Tani.
She's a Taurus.
Yeah, she was
we've got Adam.
Young one. She was the younger.
Yeah.
The two young ones getting hitched.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was cute. So that was a Taurus and a Scorpio, Tani and Ollie.
Taurus and a Scorpio. And they're getting along really well. They're getting along.
Yeah, they are. Why is that? Why are they getting along really well? Just looking at the sun astrology, why would that be? Taurus and Scorpio.
So they're actually opposite each other. So I wonder what degree they would be.
What degree? Like academy? Like what they finished at uni? What do you mean by degree?
Thank you for clarifying and bringing me out of astrology space. So each house in astrology, so that 12 wheel, is broken up into 30 degrees. And so each planet is at a certain degree point. So we talk about the degree or the step number based on where the planet is within that sign. And so Taurus and Scorpio, if they both had sun signs at 3 degrees, don't know why I said 3. I do know why. At 3 degrees is like they're completely opposite and need to balance each other out. Whereas if it's like the opposites attract. Whereas if he had his sun in Scorpio at 20 degrees and she had her sun at 12 degrees, then they're not. Oh no, that's close. At 2 degrees, they're not as close. So they're not directly, opposite each other. So a Taurus and Scorpio is definitely opposites attract type of energy. They're like that opposite element.
That's a totally opposite star sign when you look at the wheel. Like Taurus is there, Scorpio is literally 180 degrees apart. 180? Yeah, I got that right. I'm thinking,
Yeah, exactly.
Literally the opposite. But they're getting along like a house on fire, right? But they're literally the opposite.
Well, they're the opposite. They're not competing against each other. right? There's no energy competing
Yeah.
potentially. And again, we only know their sun, so please tell us if you know them
Yeah.
and find out information. But yeah, it's this, they're not competing each other for the energy, so they're just enjoying each other's difference, enjoying each other, how they show up.
Until it gets on their nerves. No, I'm joking.
Well, true.
That they do something completely opposite. Because at the start, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, something totally opposite to me, and I'm living here and you're living there, and it's like awesome. And then it can, I guess, unless, you know, you work on it, it can get a bit of like rock against rock, right? If it's totally opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So that one will be interesting to watch and see. And that's the thing, Tani doesn't look like, she doesn't have that kind of earth energy in her element or the way that she looks. And so that'll be interesting to see too. So she'll be quite grounded emotionally potentially, or quite grounded in how she shows up and shines in the world. But I wonder what else she has in her chart.
Yeah. And I wonder if she loves food as a Taurus, right? Because we're talking about the Tauruses and Libras. So that we've got a lot of Tauruses this season, right? We have, I think, 3 Tauruses. We've got Leighton, which we haven't met yet. We have Adam, and we have Tani. That's 3 Tauruses.
I kind of love this for Taurus, because one of the analogies that I always remember with Taurus energy is generally they can see what's straight in front of them, but they need help looking left and right to see what other opportunities there are for them. And so potentially they've got sick of just looking straight ahead of them and using, I know Tani talked about it, and so did Ollie, around the dating apps and that kind of thing, but just looking straight ahead. They've gone, I'm done with that, but I actually don't know how to look elsewhere, so can you help me do that? And I think that's really cool, because, you know, Taurus is another energy that probably doesn't, it's a fixed sign. So both Taurus and Scorpio are fixed sign, and when we talk about that, the energy can display in a different way around whether it's fixed and in the middle of the energy, as in it's hard to move, it's certain on what it's doing, and then the cardinal energy is quick and fast-paced and starting new things, and the mutable energy is flexible. So these 2 signs are fixed. So they're very strong in regards to, you know, what it is that they want and desire, and
so both the Taurus and the Scorpio are fixed signs. So an argument between them 2 would be pretty interesting, right? Not that we want that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to move. It's hard to move. But again, depending on what else they have in their chart.
Yeah, I love that. And then, just having a look at all the other ones that we've got, I'll just go through all the other star sign that we have at MAFS this year. We have 1 Aries, only 1, and that is Shannon. No, there's 2 Aries, I'm pretty sure. No, there's 2 Aries. I lied. There's Janelle, which we met. Janelle, she's an Aries. We met her yesterday. So there's 2 Aries, 3 Tauruses. There's no Geminis. No Gemini suns. No Gemini suns this year at MAFS. Yep. No Gemini suns. 1 Cancer, which we spoke about for like half an hour, Jessie. We've got 2 Leos. 2 Leos. I thought there'd be more Leo, because it's like being on stage, right? I mean, we're talking about sun. There might be other Leos. 1 Virgo, 3 Libras, and 2 Scorpios, 1 Sag, 3 Capricorns, 1 Aquarius, and no Pisces. No Pisces. The Pisces, where are they? Where are they, Briley?
They're on another planet. They're not here. I love my Pisces.
They've created their own little maps out of space, huh?
Exactly. They're way too elevated to be on maths. They're just like, nah, this energy is not for me.
Tell us a little bit about Pisces. Like, what is that about?
Tell us a little bit about Pisces. So Pisces is the energy where you have 1 foot on earth and 1 foot in more of a spiritual world. and very connected to intuition. It's full of compassion and love. It's very artistic. So there's creative signs and then there's artistic signs. So the left of field thinkers, or not thinkers, like artists that bring out something that's just out of this world that you're not expecting, because they can go to a level that not everyone else can go to. And so sometimes what Pisces struggles with is being grounded on earth, being here on earth, understanding what's going on with everyone else's energy, because they're kind of operating at a different vibration. It's the end of the astrological wheel. It's the final point of, I guess, growth and expansion, where we can both be human and be, you know, within spirit as well. And so some people...
They're not on MAFs. They're in a spirit somewhere.
Yeah, they're not in MAFs. I wonder if there's ever been a Pisces in MAFs. That would be interesting.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I thought we had
that'll be
two
interesting to
Aquarius,
see.
but we mustn't have two
Do
Aquarius.
we have 2 Aquarius? Maybe my calculations are wrong, but that's all good. I did stuff up with the Aries, but
Yeah, we've got
most
two
of the
Aquarius.
stars, we got 2 Aquarius.
Mm.
Who do we have? We've got Melissa that we haven't met yet,
No,
and we have
Melissa, yeah.
Lyndall.
Lyndall and Melissa.
We've got two Aquarius. Oh.
Yeah.
But most of the star signs that we have is Taurus, Libra, and Capricorn, which is so interesting because Taurus and Libra are ruled by the same planet, right?
Exactly. The planet of love.
Which is what? What? Yes! Oh, isn't that beautiful? It's the planet of love, Venus. Most of the contestants on MAFs are ruled by Venus, their sun sign.
I love that. I love that. This would be great stats to do. Look, we might be the only ones interested in this, but this would be great data to do over the series of like how it all comes together.
It's a TV show about love, and most of the sun participants are ruled by Venus. That's kind of beautiful.
It is beautiful. And then the other most signs are Capricorn, which needs to be efficient process to get the outcome. Like this, how could you not do maths to get an efficient marriage?
They're good at delegating. Capricorns are amazing at delegating. They've delegated their love life to the experts.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I've got so much to do for my spreadsheets that are open and all my business processes. I'm going to delegate my love life to the experts.
Yeah.
That's the best. I love it. I love it. We've got a comment saying, so good, ladies. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tiff. If you know anyone that will like it, share it with them, and we might do this a bit more. We might not just be a one-off. It might be ongoing. I don't know. We'll see, huh, Briley?
We'll see. I definitely want more information, because I do want to leave with like that idea that, as we talked about, you're not just your sun sign energy. It's great talking about these because it gets you understanding how that presents. But also we're so layered, and I know even for myself, I'm a Leo sun, and I always felt like there was something that I didn't know. I'm like, I don't present normally like a Leo. Like I can, but there's so much else in there. And when I had my astrology done and then learnt my numerology with you, like mind blown. It's like, wow, the layers and understanding of how things show up is very interesting, very different. So
100%. There's so many layers. So Leo, we've got 2 Leos. What's a Leo like? Who do we have that's a Leo? Let me have a look. I don't think we've met them yet, and we might meet them tonight, so maybe we won't talk about it this time. Caitlin and Alyssa. So we'll talk about it maybe next time if we do this again.
Yeah.
But let's go and talk about Lyndall. How about that? What are your thoughts?
Okay. Oh yeah, I love Lyndall.
Before we wrap up.
She was lovely. So she's an Aquarius sun. Aquarius sun.
Tell us a little bit about we're in Aquarius season right now.
I know. Exactly. And what I found fascinating with her story is that she was the one with cystic fibrosis, yeah?
100%.
So
yes.
The thing with Aquarius, the biggest energy that comes through is it's about belonging. and usually not belonging, and then learning how to be an individual and how to be so true in your sense of self that you then, as a result, belong. So I thought her story was really interesting about how she never planned for the future, and then she saw everyone else doing it, and she wasn't, you know, the one doing that until, you know, that her health she got some information about her health that turned her mindset around about what she could belong with, what she could actually have as a result. I thought that was very Aquarius last night.
Yeah. Yeah. So belonging, Aquarius, being part of a society, being part of a community.
Very important.
Together.
Yeah, very important. Very, again, intellectual, very much in the mind, but it's just standing out for a cause, for a mission. Like, I won't be surprised if once she kind of she's got more energy now, whether she moves into some sort of passion project around it or a mission.
Yeah. Like more education about what she has and building a community around it. And I mean, I guess the MAFS family, she might make it like her family, like that might help her with a lot of things. Maybe she might be the one that organizes the catch-ups after MAFS and all those things.
Yeah, exactly. If she feels like she resonates with that and she can be herself, if she can be an individual in that group. If she can't, if she gets into that group and she looks at it and goes, I can't actually be myself here, then she'll probably withdraw and detach and use one thing Aquarius does is remove their energy when the vibration doesn't feel good, because they have a sense of vibration when they walk into a room, and we may see her detach or shut down or go into herself if the vibration isn't conducive to her energy.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You kind of see that, you could kind of see that with her. And I know we're only looking at the sun, but what a perfect individual to be linked with. Cameron. Gorgeous Cameron. Isn't he just a beauty? He's an Aussie beauty.
He's gorgeous. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Just that energy. That energy is just like, you know, he takes him out to these remote areas and helps people and hasn't had a relationship. This will be fascinating to watch how that plays out.
And he's a Sun Virgo.
Yeah, so he's a Sun Virgo again. We don't know what else is going on, but he wants things, you know, to a certain point organized and contained, and, you know, he will be quieter with his emotions and how he comes across. And he can be very, you know, Virgo's a very healing energy. I think it's something that's misunderstood a lot with Virgo as well, is that it's all about health and healing. And so I see his energy can be very healing.
Wow. I just got goosebumps every day. Perfect for her, because she needs that healing. It's crazy. That's amazing.
I know, what a match, right? I've got good feelings about them.
Yeah. And the thing is, I always make a joke about Virgos. I always say they've got their undies Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday organized. Any Virgos out there, I apologize if you don't, or if you do it in another way, you organize it another way, let me know.
That is so funny. That's so funny. I want a poll to everyone who's watching here. Tell us if you're
Do you organize your undies? They actually have, I think for men, they've got undies that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That was probably organized by a Virgo.
Probably. One other thing about Virgo is they can be quite, they're hyper aware of everything that's happening. And so therefore they can become nitpicky because of that need for it to be in order. And so they want to control the environment around them, because when they walk in somewhere, they're aware of so much more that's happening than what other people are when they walk in. You know, they see the dust on the floor, plus the food on someone's face, plus the curtains that are mishung, plus the energy's kind of off, plus this, plus that. Like, it's everything kind of layers.
Analytical, is that the right word?
What was that?
Analytical, would that be a good word for them?
Yeah, definitely. That's what allows that analytical process to work and to happen. So great editors, they can pick up where there's a mistake, but also can become quite hyper aware of things.
So he might analyze Lyndall with the words she says, the actions she does, and then he might go internal because of that.
He could, exactly. He could be doing that, or it might be their physical space. He might be the one kind of sorting the undies, for example.
Cleaning.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. I can't wait for them to move into their little apartments to see how it all works out, because when you move into such, like the honeymoon, like how beautiful, Fiji, where else they go? I think Fraser Island. Where else did they go? Singapore. Like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. I didn't know the locations. I was just too busy watching all the dynamics.
I love that. And I'm like, I want to travel. I want to go there, and I want to go there, and I want to go there. Great advertising, by the way, for all those locations. So it would be interesting once all that is over, those sparks, the initial stuff, when they move into the apartments. I love that part, because you'll realize who's cleaning, who's not, who's cooking. All those little things pop up, don't they?
Yeah, the things that get on your nerves pop up, and why is that? What is it that's not tolerating those things? Yeah.
And hopefully by then we'll have more details about them, and we'll know not just their sun signs, so we can actually figure things out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that I'm really looking forward to is, like, you can see their triggers coming out. You can see when they get activated, and you're like that. When you see a response that's higher than what you would assume it needs to be, you're like, okay, they're triggered. What is that trigger, and where does that come from? That bit I love.
I like your definition of triggers. A response higher than it kind of should be, or you usually do. It's a trigger, and individuals. We've already seen some triggers, haven't we? We've seen some triggers with the potential cheating, with the potential loyalty and all those things.
Yeah. Talk about that. Can we put that on the list to talk about? Because she was a Scorpio, yeah? I'm pretty sure Bronte's a Scorpio.
Yeah, Bronte's Scorpio. Oh, watch out. I love my Scorpios. I love my Scorpios.
I love my Scorpios too. You're going to get stung if you treat them incorrectly. So because it's this full sense of self, it's this I go deep, and if I'm sharing myself with you and I'm committing to you, you need to respect that as a Scorpio. So yeah, I was like, how is this happening to the one person who's a Scorpio? I don't think I've got a few Scorpios, but to a Scorpio, like
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I can't wait to see how that plays out. It's so much to talk about. Oh my gosh, there's like so much to talk about, because you love your astrology, I love my astrology, I love numerology, you love numerology, we love human behavior, and we love maths, right? It's funny, it's awesome. It gives us a little bit of I think we spoke about this. We're like, oh my God, like you're an astrologer, I'm a numerologist, I'm a naturopath, and we're watching maths. Like, don't you have something better to do, right?
It's if you're talking about high vibe versus where are you?
Yeah, but the thing is, what I think is, it allows us to externally reflect on things that we might do, or our partner, or people around us, to show a bit more compassion, show a bit more love, show a bit more understanding for others and ourselves. Because someone listening to this might be like, hey, I'm a Scorpio, I sting, I do this, oh wow. And then they reflect and they go, was that a trigger? Was this? Do you know what I mean? So this is what we're here to do, just to kind of love yourself, kind of lead you closer to loving yourself and understanding it through maths.
Completely. Like, it's all about, I feel like these tools are all about accepting yourself even more. And that's what, even Jessie's behavior, like being able to see it at a lens, and it's not excusing behavior at all, but it's just accepting that there's things at play here that aren't helping him shine in his best light either. And there's things he needs to learn and upgrade as well. Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's not excusing. It's definitely, though, putting a light on some of the things that are happening. Love it.
Yeah, and we all have them. We all have them. Oh my gosh, we're talking for an hour, and we could probably talk for another 10 hours, but we're not doing a marathon tonight. Maybe another day.
Maybe Another day, exactly. Let's stick to an hour today. I think everyone's heard enough about maths. And we're going to get to watching maths soon. So, you know,
Yeah.
do some research.
Yeah, it's our research. I mean, that's why I watch maths. It's only for research reasons. There's no other reasons why. I mean, totally. And to bring out the best stuff for you guys.
Exactly,
and girls.
Exactly.
I am pumped. I'm excited. I don't know if I can even save this. I will try my best. I don't know if we can save IG or like stories anymore, but if we can, I'm going to post it and see what we do next with it. What do you reckon, Riley?
Sounds good. I want to, well, tell us if you want it and if it's good and you want us to continue and be little investigators. Get us this information.
Yeah, let us know. Whoever's watching, did you even enjoy it, or was it just BS and you're like, ugh?
Then we'll just do this
Awesome.
you guys don't.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, guys. Either way, everyone's listening. We're still gonna do this. It's either between just us two or between anyone that wants to listen. It's gonna happen.
I love that. Sarah's saying 1,000%.
1,000%. Yeah, 100%. Awesome. 1,000%. I love it. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to head off. And I'll post this on and see how it goes. But there's so much to talk about, so many sun star signs that we still haven't even spoken about. I just want to talk about it all now. I just want to talk about Janelle. I want to talk about Ollie. Oh my gosh, I want to talk about Cameron. I want to talk about Sandy. Oh, don't even. I just want to, like,
we will get there.
We can't. Stay tuned.
Exactly. See you next time.
So much to say. Bye.
Bye.